Greetings, fellow ARK players. I'm Havoc, and super excited. Just got Extinction, and I'm going to start my new file. But first, what I wanted to do is enable spectator mode, fly around the map, check out the different biomes, and make a video about it. So in case you're wondering if you should pick up Extinction, or if you have Extinction and you just kind of wanted to take the tour with somebody, that's what I'm here for. So what the game plan will be is I'll bring up a Google Map image and kind of circle which biome we're in so that we're on the same page as to where we're at and where we're oriented on the map. And then after that, we'll get in there and just kind of fly around, scope it out a little bit, see what dinosaurs are where, and maybe some good base building spots. So here we go. When you first get in, I'm sure anyone who's played ARK before is familiar with this. You can kind of choose between the different spawn locations that you would like. Usually people like to start off in the recommended areas, which have the least hostile dinos. So we'll just stick with the first one there. And I'm not going to really bother making my own custom survivor yet. This video is just for map exploration, so after I make this video, then it will be time to actually create my real survivor and get to it, which I'm super excited about. Okay, so this is where you're going to start off at if you spawn in that first recommended zone. And I call this the city biome. I'm not sure what the technical name is for it, but I think that makes sense. So we'll just fly straight up here, kind of get an overhead look of it. So it's kind of diamond shaped. So we'll just start on one side and work our way to the other. Almost about looks like a Star Destroyer. Alright, let's take a quick look at the map. I'll bring it up here, Google Images. Okay, so that's where we're at. And we're just gonna first go straight down the middle of it, kind of on the secondary stage of it. We won't go ground floor yet. We'll make one more pass at ground level just to see what dinos are down there. So, you know, it looks like there's a lot of really cool, fun spots that you can maybe build. I mean, if you built up here somewhere, you'd have a lot of catwalks to get used to. Water might be an issue up here, but I don't know, that's pretty cool. A little bit of iron. Yeah, so I've got a GTX 1060 super clocked. I bought my graphics card when the Bitcoin thing was popular, so I spent like $800 on a $400 graphics card, so I don't have the best rendering in the world, but it will do. Okay, so there's one of those gas bags, one of those new dinos. And we got some scorpions, trikes. All right, let's go down the middle of this on the ground floor now. Got some ankylosauruses. There's some water. Dilos. Drones. It always seems like drones are fighting stuff down here. Combative little buggers. What is going on here? Alright. Sorry. Okay, yeah, so it looks like there's actually a decent amount of water that kind of comes through the central zone here. We're still at the far end of the diamond, though. Let's quickly reorient ourselves. Oops. Sorry about that. So we started over there. Now we're working our way down the... I think that way's north. It's either north or south, I don't know, but we'll just work our way on the ground floor. See what else we can find. Okay, so, you know, that's one of the things I was worried about, was maybe a lack of water in the city. Because based on some of the other videos I saw, it kind of looked like it might have been like a concrete jungle. Which it is, but at least it's got water. Look at that, that's just beautiful. Trying to talk my wife into let me buy a GTX 1080 Ti. Maybe I should just get it and not tell her about it. For any of you that's married, yeah, I'm sure you'll know that that's not how things work. Wives are like special investigators. They always find out. Okay, so now we're in that broad area of the diamonds. Yeah, so it's gonna take some getting used to figuring out where you're at down here while you're playing, because it is kind of confusing. Got a green obelisk here, but no, I don't think any of them have the terminals at the bottom. So we got some stags, corrupted stags, tech stags. Wow, that one looks kind of badass, doesn't it? Wow. Okay, so if you start off in the city, it looks like it might be a good idea just to kind of stay in the city for a while until you get some means to leave it, because surrounding the city biome, it's just, there's not much. I've done some prerequisite exploring, and it looks like there's a lot of hostile stuff all over the place. T-Rexes, just raptors, everything. Especially once you kind of get out of the walls of the city biome. So, alright, well, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so here we are at the desert biome. And just quickly look around. There's a snow biome. There's a city biome. And so on. But let's get down here. And one thing to notice is when we enter the desert biome, and I think it's true with the snow biome as well, it will actually make it look like you're trapped in desert. So if you're here in the desert and you want to find your way out back into the city, a good rule of thumb is to look for this big pathway or those rocks right there and head towards that. And then once you leave the sphere, the illusion goes away. Or mirage, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I guess the most organized way to go about exploring this is to go around the outskirts first, and then we'll go into the middle there where there's water. So let's see what we got here. You know, I'm really impressed with the map design of Extinction. I really like what they did with it, and if you're on the edge of getting it or not getting it, you're not sure, maybe you're watching this video to help inform you of the decision. You know, out of all the maps, I would say that this one might be my favorite long term. I know that's easy to say because it's new, and you know, maybe the novelty will wear off, but maybe it's just because it's new. I played the Ragnarok map for hundreds possibly up to 1,000, maybe a little bit over 1,000 hours. So this will be a nice change. You Tyrannus pissed. Yeah, so kind of what you would expect if you played ARK before. The dinos that you're gonna find here. That must be crystal. I don't know what that is. Whoa, what's that thing? It's one of those new Volanosaurs, I think. I don't know how to pronounce it. So, they're in the desert biome. That's pretty cool. Yeah, they're all over the place. I'd imagine them to be kind of like raptors, maybe a little bit better, if I were to guess. Wow. Yeah, so like once you enter one of these spheres, it's like you're in a whole different world. It's almost like having multiple maps in one map. Man, they did some really cool work with these stags. Props to the artists and graphic designers over at Wildcard. Okay, so that's pretty much, we pretty much went around the whole outskirts. Not the whole thing, because the outskirt's pretty wide. We could go around the inner circle here, but out of for the sake of saving some time, we'll just get right into the middle and see what that's about. So let's get back up here. We came in from this angle, so this is where we'll start. We'll kind of work our way down and around this horseshoe shape. Let's see if there's okay, I was thinking there might be like a cave or something, maybe, possibly, on that wall. I went through really fast before I started recording, just to kind of get a decent idea of what the different biomes were about. But by no means am I an expert. I'm kind of exploring like one of you might be. Some Doedicaruses. It's nice to know that they're here in the desert biome. So you got a pathway down for land dinos. Really cool color for the water. I'm glad that they went with like a turquoise color. It's a really nice contrast against the drab brown sand. Okay, let's turn around and go back the other way. Check out the rest of this horseshoe shape. There's no real spots that are jumping out at me and screaming, hey, this would be a badass place to build a base. There's plenty of good spots, plenty of decent spots, but what I would do is I'll probably look at the Gamepedia resource map and kind of get an idea of a good location to kind of have easy access or somewhat close access to the most amount of resources possible. It looks like the forest, the underground forest cave, which is a biome we'll be going over here later, has the most variety and quantity of different resources. So that might be one of the best places to build. Okay, so here's a cave. And I'm not going to go in there because when you clip through the wall when you're in spectator mode, it can wreak havoc, and I'd rather not crash. And we'll leave some mystery to this biome. I'm not sure how far the cave goes or how big it is or anything like that. kind of cool they got these geysers. I don't think that they always go off, but sometimes they do. I'm not sure what would happen if you were to stand in one or on one when it went off. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully that will give you a pretty decent idea of what the desert biome's about. You know, it's not massive, but it's certainly not small. You know, everything looks small when you're flying around in spectator mode, but once you're on the ground, I mean, think about, like, having to walk everywhere at probably 1/8 of this speed. Things trying to kill ya. Yeah, so I don't want to give the impression. I just kind of wanted to scale it to show you that it's not as small as it might seem. And that goes with all the biomes. Kentrosaurus, Carnos, and alright, well, let's head off to the snow biome. So here we are at the snow biome. Looks like a snow globe, really. So just as a point of reference, there's a city biome where we started. Then we jumped over there to the desert biome. Now we're here at the snow biome. So let's just get on in there. And it's kind of a chaotic biome. I'm not sure what the best way to go about exploring this in a lucrative way, but I'll give it my best shot. Okay, yep, so as I suspected, excuse me, once you enter the sphere, it looks like you're surrounded by snow biome, and then once you come out, you can see that it's just an illusion, like at the desert biome. Alright, so I guess let's just get in here and see what this is all about. Mammoths, warthogs, as I would expect. I don't know why, and it's probably just because I'm a nerd, but I always like snow biomes for base building because, gosh, I'm gonna sound like such a nerd. Because, like, once you build a base, like, you just feel more cozy in it. Like, you're warm and safe inside of your base, and then you look out, it's snowing, and I don't know. I'm an idiot. So, these snow owls look really cool. I am a fan. Can't wait to get one. Saber-tooths. Got a nice wyvern. Yeah, so I guess I'll just kind of, like what I did with the desert biome, just kind of go around the outskirts first, and then I'll hit up the center. So we got ankylos here as well. Let's see here. Okay, so I've made my way around there. Continuing on this way. So snow biome is typically known for crystal resources. I think iron is somewhat common. Again, I would check the Gamepedia map to get a more thorough answer on all the resources. And I think also typically there's oil. I don't know. Oil's pretty common in desert biomes as well. That's crazy. Okay, so this is the way you actually get in, it looks like. And I don't know if this force field sphere thing is going to prevent you from entering. I don't think so, though. Wow. Gosh, I don't know where I would even feel safe here. There seems to be ice wyverns canvassing the whole entire biome. There's another one. Yeah. Beautiful but deadly biome. Okay, let's kind of get into the center of this thing here. We pretty much made a full circuit. Crystal. Plenty of water all over the place. You know, this might be where I might build my second or third base. I usually build multiple bases in my ARK file. I'll have my first base, which is in a safe location, and I'll get what I can get there. Then I'll move to a upgraded base, you know, since I got the dinos and resources from that first base. Make a better base, get better dinos, and then usually my third base I'll put in, you know, the more dangerous areas that have the most resources, but, you know, by then I can build metal walls and metal foundations. And yeah, so gosh, I wish there was a better way for me to do this without taking too much of your time, but I guess this it's kind of what we got. So I think the general feel of this biome is it's going to be hostile. Obviously you're going to have to deal with cold, which is something that you can't really do early game. Traveling from the city to this biome probably won't be the easiest endeavor, and even once you get here, you know, you gotta survive it. I'll probably come here for my second base. I think I've decided. So, let's just get one more overhead look here. So it's got kind of like a highland area in the middle, and then around it is more lower area. I don't know, really cool. I like it. I like it. It's just dangerous, especially with all the ice wyverns. And even, you know, beyond the ice wyverns, these wolves are pretty fast, and gosh, if you're on foot, there's not much you can do about it. Okay, well, I think we've seen a decent amount of the snow biome, enough to get a decent idea of what it's about anyway. So next we're going to be going right... It's actually really close to the snow biome. It's going to be right here, which is why I call the blood forest biome. So let's get in there. Alright, you'll see why I call it the blood forest biome in a moment. It kind of wraps around. There's like an underground area and an above ground area. It's not a very big biome, but it just kind of this little chunk right here. So when compared to the rest of the map, not a very big area. But there's some really ridiculously difficult creatures in this area, so probably once you're looking for more late game killing machines, this will probably be a really good place to go to find them. I really like these mushroom flower trees. I think they look kind of cool. And then you'll also find the forest wyverns in here. So here's one of the entrances if you're coming in by land. So again, we'll just kind of go up here. So snow biome. Came out the other end. Yeah, so right off the bat, crazy Gigantosauruses. Gigantosauri. Yeah, these forest wyverns look amazing. I don't think there's... Well, let's take a look here. Yeah, so there's different colorations, but to be honest, none of them look bad. I'd be happy with any of them. Be nice if my graphics card would just render everything already. Suppose there's like a million moving things right here, but still. Alright, so we came from that way. What's over here? Yeah, so it's not super small. Compared to the rest of the map, it's small. But, I suppose it doesn't have to be very big to be effective. Just really awesome design. Oh, and also at the end of this video, I'm going to be going over the resource map. So if you're interested in what biomes have what resources, you can find it there. Or you can go to where I found the map, which is on Gamepedia. Anything you could ever want to know about ARK is on Gamepedia. So I highly recommend that as a resource for information. Also, if you are or were unaware, if you're playing this on PC, I've got a couple of videos out that will show you how to raise the max wild dino level cap as high as you want it to go past 150, and also how to raise the max player level cap up to pretty much level 500. So if you're interested in doing either of those, I'll put a link up in the upper right hand side of the screen that you can click at any time. You'll see it pop up here. Yeah, so it looks like there's a lot of rich iron nodes here. I love this area. It's so cool. It's got like these little red leaves or red petals coming down. Just a really cool atmosphere. Blood tentacles. Yeah, so I don't know. I could be going over the same spots a couple times. It's kind of a maze down here. It's not very big, but it's still kind of a maze. But hopefully this will kind of give you an idea of what it's about. It's not going to give you a full picture of how to navigate it or anything like that, but just to kind of show you what's here and what it looks like. And I don't know, maybe you've spotted a couple places you might like to build a base. Honestly, like even late game, I don't think I'd build a base here. Oh, that's just asking for trouble. Yeah, so I know I've been here before. Okay, well, I think that pretty much covers it for this biome. You know, it's small. It's got a lot of endgame craziness. So the next place we're going to be going to is actually right next door to this, opposite of the snow biome. So we came from the snow biome, we kind of went through here, the blood forest biome as I call it, And we're going to be going right down there into the underground forest cave. Alright, so we just left the Blood Forest biome. And we're heading up the side here. And what you'll find is this huge hole right here. And there's actually a pathway so you can ride a smaller dino down into it. Probably nothing too big though. Of course, there's the trick where you can just jump down and then jump off your dino before you hit the ground, but that's kind of risky. So you'll preferably have a flyer, but actually this looks like a thicker route. If my game doesn't crash. Okay. Oh, you know what? Whoa, okay. Alright, yeah, so you could probably get something a little bit bigger down this way. Alright, so now we're in the underground forest cave. And this is a really cool biome. Really awesome. So the path will bring you here. And, you know, I would suppose that, you know, maybe once you get like a Pteranodon, you could come down here and build a base down here and get your Stegosaurus and all your other types of early game dinos. And then you could bring some of them up to the surface with a Quetzal. So we'll take a right. First of all, and kind of see what's over this way. Gosh, isn't this awesome? I bet you on official servers it's going to be pretty competitive down here. And it's huge. I mean, you could get lost down here. I'm already lost. I know that I took a right when I came down that pathway, but I mean, look at how many different directions you can go. And you know, it's daytime, and I think some of the light from, you know, the daylight actually gets down here. I'm sure at night it gets really dark. And I'm not going to go in there. I'm not sure how far it goes. That's something that you could maybe figure out later. Leave some mystery to this biome. But it's at the end of this river, it looks like. So if you want to find it, just follow the river. Again, I don't want to clip through the wall and have the game crash or freak out. Looks kind of like a nice building spot right here. Pretty flat. Looks like you got some crystal. Okay, so that was a dead end. And you know, I'm not sure if a raft would... Yeah, a raft would probably fit through there, maybe. But a raft might be a good way to navigate this cave system in a somewhat safe manner. Whoa, look at that Kentrosaurus. Yeah, so I think that this will probably be one of the more popular biomes. It certainly looks pretty damn cool. And again, you know, it's like the desert and the snow biome where it's almost like it's its own world. You know, it's its own map, really. Like, you could do so much down here. You could spend so much time down here and never leave. Of course, that's not the case, but probably spend 100 hours in here. So unfortunately, I can't just fly up and give you an overhead view of what the cave system looks like. But, you know, and again, I know this video is not going to help you navigate the cave, really, but hopefully it's going to give you a good idea of what it has to offer, you know, what it's like. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is where we came down. So we kind of did a full round, you know, remember we took a right and went around that way. So if you take a left, if you take a left, this looks like a pretty great spot to build. Got water right there. Nice flat area. You got trees, rocks. I'm not sure. I haven't really seen any iron nodes, but when I looked at the resource map, it said like there's a little bit of everything down here. So we'll go over that at the end of the video. We'll go over the resource map, so we can double check that. So the last biome we're going to go over is the swamp. And it's not like the swamp from Ragnarok or the island. You'll see when we get there. But this is the underground forest biome. Gosh, look at it. It's just, just awesome. And actually, one more thing to mention. I haven't seen any casteroids. Any beavers, giant beavers. I would hope that there are some somewhere on the map. Ah, aha. Okay, so they are down here. Sweet. Okay, sorry. Every time I'm about to move on to the next biome, it's like, wow, there's something else to think about down here. But we'll just cut it here and move on. Alright, so let's do a quick recap. We started in the city biome in the middle there. Then we went to the desert biome. Then to the snow biome. Then to the blood forest biome. Then to the underground, massive, awesome cave system. And then here's the swamp. And this area in the middle here, just for the sake of being thorough, kind of a vanilla area. I don't even know what kind of biome I would call it. Let's see here. I wouldn't say it's part of the swamp. Got some T-Rexes and some stags, parasaurs, but let's get into the swamp here. So it's this whole I wouldn't call it a quadrant, but corner of the map, I guess would be a good way to say it. And you know, it doesn't look like the swamps from the other maps. It kind of looks like a ocean version of a swamp. Like a salt deposit type of area. But you'll find swamp creatures here. Let's see here. I like how they have the water bubbling. But my GPU does not like that. Well, we got some Brontos. Alright, so here's some more of that vanilla area. Kind of like, this is what you'll find in between the biomes, is area like this. It's almost like a grassland, I guess, would be a good way to put it, maybe. So this is pretty interesting down here. This almost kind of looks like oil. Like even the way it's dripping. So I don't think this is water. I think this is all oil. I could be mistaken. I wish I had an answer for you, especially sticking around to watch this whole video. I appreciate that. So I guess not a whole lot to say, at least down here in the oil pit. Oh, it's a gas bag at work. Oh, yuck. What a gross entity. Gas bag is a perfect name for that thing. Must have some health on it. Taking 2 Spinos? Damn. Okay. That looks like some kind of structure collapse. Okay, yeah, so I kind of lump this in with the swamp area. Even though it's not very swampy, it's kind of that neutral ground. But it's directly adjacent to that, so... I guess there's not a whole lot left to say, really, about the swamp area. You know, it's just, it's pretty open, not a whole lot of trees. We're going to get into the resource maps, and hopefully you found this video useful. You know, if you're thinking about buying Extinction, but you're not sure what to expect, this video was specifically made to maybe help you make a decision on that. Or if you do have the game and you just kind of wanted to go through the map with kind of a tour guide. I know I'm not the best tour guide. I'm not, you know, I haven't played this map for hundreds of hours. I don't know all the secrets and hidden tricks, but, you know, once I figure it out, I'll be sure to make a video on that. So probably in a month or so, I should be well acquainted enough to do that. Well, I hope you enjoyed the tour. Let's take a look at the resource map. We'll just go in the order that we did the tour on. So we'll start with the city biome here. And it looks like there's a lot of river rock, which does have a small amount of metal in it. Some crystal, some obsidian. Towards the south here, it looks like there's some rich metal. So I think what I'm going to do personally is when I start, I'm going to find a good spot to build somewhere around here. That way I can get metal quickly, hopefully, and be able to progress to my next base, probably in the snow biome. But so the next biome we went to was the desert biome, and it looks pretty sparse. I mean, for resources, just crystal and obsidian. A few rich metal nodes, but not much. So that's going to be a tough place to really progress. Then we went to the snow biome. One thing to notice right here, I didn't see it while I was going on the tour, but it looks like maybe there's a cave system that goes back in there, or maybe it's up on like a mountain ridge, but I'm guessing it's probably a cave. Something to maybe look into later. But so the snow biome, which is where I think either I'll build my second or third base. I might build my second base in the underground forest cave biome. But as you can see here in the snow, you got crystal, you got rich and normal metal nodes, and a little bit of obsidian. And then again, this kind of goes off the map. I'm not sure if that's a cave, or maybe it's just kind of like on the outskirts of the sphere and just kind of cut off by the map here. And then here's the next place we went was the blood forest biome, and there's a lot of metal nodes. You know, I'm guessing, and I didn't see this either when we were on the tour, but I'm guessing this is probably where the forest wyvern eggs might be. This might be a wyvern cave, and that would explain why there's so many rich metal nodes. Yeah, so that's really dense and some of the more rare materials. Then we went over to the underground forest cave system, and it's got a little bit of everything in there. You know, I think that you could probably flourish pretty well in there. So I think that I've decided that I'm gonna, you know, go from down here with my first base, then probably move to the underground cave system, and probably spend a while in there before I, you know, venture out to, I mean, it's so far away. I'll probably have to think about it more, but where my third base will go. Then we went to the swamp biome. It was pretty barren, really. Not a whole lot of trees. Probably not the easiest place to flourish, but as you can see down here, I mean, there's a lot of resources here. In between the swamp and the desert biome, that's really rich, with a little bit of everything. So that might not be a bad spot either. So that covers pretty much everything. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. You know, if I get enough subscribers, I can maybe monetize and afford a better graphics card. If not, that's cool. I hope to see you in some of my future videos. There's going to be plenty of them to come. So I'm going to be starting Extinction tonight, and really looking forward to it. I'm glad to have this video out of the way so I can rock and roll. Have fun, Godspeed, and we'll see you in the next video.